American men and women are set to be imminently drafted to fight for the globalists in World War III if Klaus Schwab gets his way, after the World Economic Forum leader was heard boasting that he has signed an executive order compelling the Biden regime to supply American bodies for the front lines. Schwab made the remarks at an event in Dubai earlier this week, where he was speaking to 600 so-called experts on the topic of how to rule the world. When Schwab says jump, Biden says how high?
Are the wars in Israel and Ukraine more than the United States can take on at the same time?
We're the United States of America, for God's sake. The most powerful nation in the history, not in the world, in the history of the world. The history of the world. We can take care of both of these and still maintain our overall international defense. We have the capacity to do this, and we have an obligation to. We are the essential nation, to paraphrase the former Secretary of State. And if we don't, who does?
Since when did the US have an obligation to fight foreign wars? And make no mistake, the globalists have big plans to reshape the entire world in the next few years.
The world's at an inflection point. The world's changing, but we have an opportunity to make it. So imagine if we were able to succeed in getting the Middle East put in place where we have normalization of relations. I think we can do that. Imagine what happens if we, in fact, unite all of Europe and Putin is finally put down where he cannot cause the kind of trouble he's been causing. We have enormous opportunities.
The elite are happy sending your money overseas forever and sending your children overseas to fight their globalist World War III. Are we going to let them? Before we dive in, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and join the People's Voice Locals community to join us in our mission, support the channel, and gain access to uncensored content. Lord Rothschild admitted that his family created Israel as part of the Great Master Plan for World War III, and now their agenda is playing out before our very eyes. The useful idiots on mainstream media were quick to call the attack Israel's 9/11, and they were closer to the truth than they'll ever realise. Just like the 9/11 attacks, the government was complicit and the military was ordered to stand down. And just like 9/11, the globalist elite are now rubbing their hands together at the prospect of launching more forever wars in the Middle East, more devaluation of currencies, more neglect of the people in favour of war, death, and the globalist agenda. At the time of the attack on Israel, security experts were stunned and said that the Hamas attack didn't make any sense and bore all the hallmarks of an inside job. Now we know that the Israeli government did know about the attacks in advance. The Times of Israel, Associated Press and Al Jazeera are all reporting that Egypt warned Israel of a major attack coming from Gaza 10 days before the events of the weekend, but Israeli officials chose to ignore it. And now we know why Israeli forces took 7 agonizing hours to respond to calls for help from terrorized citizens. Here's Lauren Wisk with more on the stand-down order issued by Netanyahu to the Israeli military.
Netanyahu intentionally let Hamas kill Israelis. Both the IDF and the Israeli Air Force both stood down for 7 hours. You won't believe what a Jewish charity leader told me today.
Israel has the most sophisticated intelligence in the world. There was no way the government didn't know that that was going to happen. We're friendly with several good people in Israel. One is Rabbi Hanania Weissman. He knows a lot of people in Israel. He knows confidential sources that he shared with us their information about the stand-down order. And he sent out a missive that, indeed, the IDF was given stand-down orders, both the Army and the Air Force, 7 hours to stand down while those attacks took place. And this allowed the terrorists to come in and begin slaughtering and torturing the citizens.
The 9/11 parallels don't stop there. After this quick break, we will reveal exactly how we know the elite's plans for the next few years. Hint.
Alright, Shalom, Shalom. Before I begin, let me start out by giving all honor, glory, and praise to Yahweh, Ba'Hashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'Hashem Rakakwadash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, who teach in the course where I learn this truth. Peace and salutations to the Lord select. Alright, I'm gonna get into this morning lesson right quick, well, early afternoon lesson. Alright, dealing with the first part of this video I just showed you the first, 4 minutes? 4 minutes or so of it. Alright, and we're gonna break down what you've seen in that 4 minutes, alright? This devil said a lot. Alright. So before we begin, let me get my scriptures ready. We're gonna start out in the book of Psalm 64. Alright. because it talked about the Klaus Schwab dude. All right, how he's basically running this shit over here. All right, the dude made the statement to say Charles Carl, whatever the fuck his name is, the Schwab nigga. He says jump, and Biden says how high. All right, and if you paid attention to the news yesterday, October 19th, year 2023, which was yesterday. All right, you seen Creepy Sleepy Joe. All right, he had what they call it, address to the nation and shit. All right, and he wants to send, I think he said 100 million or 100 billion. He said something like that to them Amalekites, the Israelis. All right, and he's already sent 100 million over there to the Ukrainians. All right, so this is a strategic way to devalue the dollar and break down the currency. All right, and it's being made bare. All right, what these people playing is, all right, this dude on the screen, you see he's, talking a lot, and the scripture said that in the last days, all right, he will make these devils' tongue fall upon them. All right, so let's read some of it in Psalm 64. All right, we're going to start at verse 1. It say, hear my voice, O power, in my prayer. Preserve my life from fear of the enemy. All right, the enemy is Esau. He's the number one enemy on this earth. All right, verse 2, it say, hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, from the insurrection of the workers of iniquity. All right, secret counsel of the wicked, the illuminated ones. All right, and you seen what you about to see in the next part. They're going to have this Alvin Pike dude talking about what he was talking about. All right, back then, all right, everything is starting to come to light, all right, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shai. All right, so it say the secret counsel of the wicked. All right, the illuminated ones on the left-hand side, all right. So, let me read verse 3. It say, who wet their tongue like a sword and bend their bows to shoot their arrows, even bitter words. All right, and they getting ready to draft you Americans. All right, man, it's gonna go down over here, right? Verse 4, that they may shoot in secret at the perfect. Suddenly do they shoot at him and fear not. They encourage themselves in an evil matter. They commune of laying snares privily. They say, who shall see them? All right, and that's the pride of Esau, all right? Let me see verse 6. They search out iniquities. They accomplish a diligent search. Both the inward thought of every one of them and the heart is deep, all right. They meditate on wickedness, all right. The scripture tell you in Psalms, what is it? Not Psalms, Proverbs 4:16, that they lose sleep if they ain't able to cause something to fall. All right, let me get it real quick. Proverbs, we can read 16:4 and 4:16. All right, Proverbs 16:4 reads, the Lord had made everything for himself, yeah, even the wicked for the day of evil. All right, so let me read that. Let me read it in the other one now. 4:16. Oh, excuse me. All right, now this is Psalms 4. I mean, not Psalms, so like Proverbs 4. Forgive me, y'all. In verse 16, and it reads, for they sleep not except they have done mischief, and their sleep is taken away unless they cause some to fall. For they eat the bread of wickedness and drink the wine of violence. All right, that's these Edomites. All right, and the elite of Esau. All right, so let me jump back now to that Psalms 64. All right. And we read verse 6, let's read verse 7. It say, but Yahweh shall shoot at them with an arrow. Suddenly shall they be wounded. So they shall make their own tongue to fall upon themselves. All that see them shall flee away. All right. And that's what's happening to Esau. All right. Y'all forgive me. Scamming ass motherfuckers. All right. But that's what's happening to Esau. All right. He's being made bare. All right. Starting with Amalek, the chief house of Esau, the chief house of the devil. All right. You heard what that Joe Biden nigga had to say, all right? He's proud, all right? He was like, shit, we can fight all these wars and still be good, all right? You know what I mean? That's what he said. And that goes to that Psalms 10. All right, and let me see, verse 6, Psalms 10:6. It say, he had said in his heart, I shall not be moved, for I shall never be in adversity. All right, and that's how these devils truly think. All right, he was like, that nigga Antiochus Biden said we could fight those wars. All right, being fight against Iran and fight against ultimately it's gonna be Russia and China. All right, and still have the ability to police the world, so to speak. And that motherfucker is sadly mistaken. All right, you're gonna come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon, as it says in Isaiah 47. All right, let me see. One second. This is Psalms 2. All right, it reads, Psalms 2 and 1. Why do the heathen rage and the people imagine a vain thing? All right, the heathen. All right, number one heathen being Esau, Edom. All right, it say the kings of the earth set themselves and the rulers take counsel together against the Lord Yahweh Shemawashah and against his anointed, saying, let us break their bands asunder and cast away their cords from us. All right, and creepy sleepy Joe, he ain't on the level. He's a puppet. All right, he's Carl Schwab's puppet. All right, as he said. All right, he does his bidding. All right, let me hit that Isaiah 47 right quick. Isaiah 47 and 1. Come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon. That's talking about you Edomites, all right, over here in America especially. All right, sit on the ground. There is no throne, O daughter of the Chaldeans, for thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate. All right. These are coming to you, Esau. Let me see. Let me jump down a little bit. Let me see. I'm gonna jump down. Go jump down to verse 7. It say, and thou sayest, I shall be a lady forever, so that thou didst not lay these things to thy heart, neither didst remember the latter end of it. All right, verse 8. Therefore, hear now this, thou that art given the pleasure, that dwellest carelessly, that sayest in thine heart, I am, and none beside me. I shall not sit as a widow, neither shall I know the loss of children. All right, you heard what Creepy Sleepy Joe said. He said, America is going to continue to be America. All right, verse 9. But listen to what the scriptures say. But these two things shall come to thee in a moment, in one day, the loss of children and widowhood. They shall come upon thee in their perfection, for the multitude of thy sorceries, and for the great abundance of thy enchantments. All right, verse 10. For thou hast trusted in thy wickedness, thou hast said, none seeth me. Thy wisdom and thy knowledge, it hath perverted thee, and thou hast said in thine heart, I am, and none beside me. Verse 11. Therefore shall evil come upon thee, that thou shalt not know from whence it riseth, and mischief shall fall upon thee, that thou shalt not be able to put it off, and desolation shall come upon thee suddenly, which thou shalt not know. All right, this was coming to you, goddamn Edomites. All right, let's let the second part of this play. We'll come right back with some more scripts, and Lord willing, to continue to be edifying.
Hint, the elite believe in revelation of the method, and they've been telling us about their plans for centuries. But first, an important message from our sponsor. Anybody who's still on the fence about whether the hidden hand of the elite is currently orchestrating world events should take a look at this Economist cover from 11 years ago. The Rothschild-owned Economist magazine has a history of uncannily predicting the future with their covers. Let's zoom in on the detail in the top of the image. Did they have a time machine? The elite plan the future and adapt to how the public reacts to their plans. Those who know their history understand that the Rothschilds have been trying to claim Palestine's sovereignty for centuries. In 1829, they offered the huge fortune of 35 million piastres to the Turkish Sultan. Now they're making their move, in the exact manner that Albert Pike told us they would in his foundational Illuminati text published way back in 1871. That's right, the events that are playing out before our very eyes have been in the works for centuries.
Have you heard of Albert Pike's 3 World Wars? For those of you that haven't, this is Albert Pike. According to encyclopedia.com, he was the leading American Masonic scholar of the 19th century. Albert Pike claimed to have received a vision, which he wrote down in a letter in 1871. This isn't hearsay. This can be found in the U.S. archives at archive.org, and it was also displayed in the British Museum Library in London. He describes 3 world wars. 2 world wars have obviously already happened, but I'm going to read you what he said about the 3rd World War. The Third World War must be fomented by taking advantage of the differences caused by the Asian tour of the Illuminati between the political Zionists and the leaders of the Islamic world. The war must be conducted in such a way that Islam, the Muslim Arabic world, and political Zionism, the state of Israel, mutually destroy each other. Meanwhile, the other nations, once more divided on this issue, will be constrained to fight to the point of complete physical, moral, spiritual, and economical exhaustion. We shall unleash the nihilists and the atheists, and we shall provoke a formidable social cataclysm in which all its horror will show clearly to the nations the effect of absolute atheism, origin of savagery, and of the most bloody turmoil. Then everywhere, the citizens, obliged to defend themselves against the world minority of revolutionaries, will exterminate these destroyers of civilization, and the multitude, disillusioned with Christianity, whose deistic spirits will from that moment be without compass or direction, anxious for an ideal, but without knowing where to render its adoration, will receive the true light through the universal manifestation of the pure doctrine of Lucifer, brought finally out in the public view. This manifestation will result from the general reactionary movement, which will follow the destruction of Christianity and atheism, both conquered and exterminated at the same time.
Klaus Schwab wasn't joking when he said that he had penetrated cabinets of Western democracies and appointed his puppets. Biden is fully signed up to the agenda and determined to play his role in the elite's Third World War.
Were I a Jew, I would be a Zionist. And my father pointed out to me, I did not need to be a Jew to be a Zionist. For I am. Israel is essential to the security of Jews worldwide.
Ask yourself this: will Biden make the situation even worse when he makes what CNN are even admitting is a high-stakes trip to Israel this week? You can bet your bottom dollar he will. Violence begets more violence. The elite are determined to send humanity on a race to the bottom, while they get richer, tighten the noose around humanity's neck, and enact their long-planned agenda for World War III and a one-world government. Are we going to let them? Here are the people's voice. We are determined to continue exposing the crimes of the globalist elites, but we need your help.
Alright, so I showed you that one. Alright, and you heard what was said. Alright, about what the Edomite woman was saying about the Albert Pike individual. Right now, he ain't no fucking prophet. Alright, you know, it's just the Lord put his spirit on all flesh. Alright, even back then he had some of these devils say things that's playing out today. Alright, and that dude Albert Pike is probably back today in some shape, fashion, or form. Alright, I'm sure he is. Alright, or he's been back. Alright, this is Revelation 11 and 14. It say the second woe is past, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly. Alright, these are talking about the destructions, the World War 1, 2, and 3s. Alright, Albert Pike didn't do nothing but have a certain understanding of the Bible. Alright, he had a little understanding as far as the woes go. Alright, and again, these devil's tongues is falling upon them. They read that scripture again, Psalm 64. Alright, in verse 8, they say, so they shall make their own tongue to fall upon themselves. Alright, and Esau has been made bare. Alright, and the only people who are able to see this is the elect. Alright, starting with the 144,000 being the prophets. Alright, and the 1/3 who was able to receive the message of the prophets. Alright, we see this. Alright, the world can't perceive it the way we can. They can see certain things about it, but they can't tie it all the way into biblical prophecy the way the house of David can. Alright, and listen to the pride of this devil right here. Listen to how he speaks. Alright, this motherfucker can barely walk and can barely remember what he about to say, but when it comes to speaking about, you know what I'm saying, this madness that he's speaking about, he's on point. Alright, listen to how he raises his voice and shit. Listen to creepy sleepy Antiochus, Joe Biden.
For I am. Would be a Zionist. And my
puppets. Biden is fully signed up to the agenda and determined to play his role in the elite's Third World War.
Were I a Jew, I would be a Zionist. And my father pointed out to me, I did not need to be a Jew to be a Zionist. For I am. Israel is essential to the security of Jews worldwide.
Alright, that's that devil in him coming out, alright? Man, this is a beautiful time to be alive, alright, to watch these devils. Alright, think they're actually gonna get their plan off, alright, but they're not gonna win, alright. This is Job 20 in verse 4, It says, "No, is not this of old, since man was placed upon the earth, that the triumphing of the wicked is short, and the joy of the hypocrite but for a moment." All right, so you in the end of the last moments of your rule, Esau, right? And the scripture tell you right when you about to fill your belly. Let me jump down. Let me see. Let me see. We're gonna stay in this same chapter. We're gonna jump down to 15 and say, "He has swallowed down riches. He shall vomit them up again. Yahweh Shemashah shall cast them out of his belly." All right. Let me see. Yeah, verse 23. When he is about to fill his belly, Yahweh Shemashah shall cast the fury of his wrath upon him, and shall rain it upon him while he is eating. All right. He shall flee from the iron weapon, and the bow of steel shall strike him through. It is drawn, it cometh out of the body, yeah. The glittering sword cometh out of his gall, terrors are upon him. All right, the Lord gonna use them ICBM missiles to bomb you Americans and you Israelis. All right, he gonna use Gog and Magog, which is Russia today, as well as China, North Korea. All right, Tomar, and the rest of the nations, even NATO and the EU is gonna turn on America. They gonna side with the bear. All right, and they gonna fire missiles off on this bitch as well as on Israel. All right, and that's gonna be how this place gonna go out. All right, Esau think he gonna last forever. Nah, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Only thing that lasts forever is the kingdom of heaven. All right, and that's surely and fastly approaching. All right, and you devils are gonna be slaves in it. All right, you know what I'm saying? Starting with the chief house of Edom being Amalek. All right. But let me see what else he said.
Ask yourself this. Will Biden make the situation even worse when he makes what CNN are even admitting is a high-stakes trip to Israel this week? You can bet your bottom dollar he will. Violence begets more violence. The elite are determined to send humanity on a race to the bottom. While they get richer, tighten the noose around humanity's neck.
But it ain't gonna happen, all right? You know, they trying to do it, but it ain't gonna happen, all right? Let me see, I'm staying in this Job 20. It say, we're gonna go to verse, let me see, verse 26 say, "All darkness shall be hid in his secret places, a fire not blown shall consume him. It shall go ill with him that is left in his tabernacle." All right, the heavens shall reveal his iniquity, and the earth shall rise up against him. All right. That's what's coming to Esau. I say the increase of his house shall depart, and his goods shall flow away in the day of his wrath. This is the portion of a wicked man with Yahweh Shem Yahweh power, and the heritage appointed unto him by Yahweh Shem Yahweh power. So Esau, you were just raised up to be put down. All right, as I tell you in Romans, the same reason that the Lord raised up Pharaoh was to show his power, and it's the same reason he raised you up, the modern day Pharaoh. All right, Esau, Edom. All right. And it's going down, all right? So, you know, this is just a early afternoon lesson. All right, the spirit was rolling, and I want to put up something right quick before I go to work. So, I had a couple of clips. I had the scripts on point. I mean, and you know what I'm saying? I just wanted to put something up. Lord willing, it was edifying. It flowed together. Made sense. Any comments, questions, anything, you know, just leave them in the comment section. And I'll do my best to clear it up or answer, you know, whatever it is that's being asked. All right, and yeah, rejoice, all right? You know what I'm saying? Sit back and watch America go up in smoke, all right? Stay on fire for Yahweh Shem Yahweh. Keep the fear of Yahweh Shem Yahweh. And we almost out of here, all right? All honor, glory, and praise go to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who teaching the quest rather in this truth. Peace and salutations to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai's elected house of David, Kwame Yasharala, and Wa Baba Ball.